very good. Okay, very good.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Hard Factor presented by the Barstool News Network. It is What the Fuck Wednesday, September 30th, 2020. It's a special What the Fuck Wednesday because last night, as I'm sure you all joined, the debate live stream and debate itself was electric, obviously.
Might be a little hungover if you played the drinking game.
Yeah, you might be. You might be. We actually don't know how good the debate was yet. We have not seen it yet, but stay tuned to the end where we will have some post-debate analysis clipped onto the end of this pod because that's what you deserve in the heart of live.
Little inside production baseball here. It's a split show. So this is all What the Fuck Wednesday, but in this same broadcast, this same program, you're also going to have us after we watch these electric debates. So
that's right. The What the Fuck Wednesday is Tuesday evening before the debates, but we're staying up watching the debates, going live with you. Then we're going to do a segment on this show later on that we did late Tuesday night around midnight just because, you know, you deserve it.
It's for you.
We're looking good, though. We're in our debate attire, so youtube.com.
I might change shirts, but right now I'm turbo time.
Yeah.
I think we all look pretty good. Speaking of looking good, weight loss contest, another week, another weigh-in. I gotta put, I gotta own up to it. I gained weight. Was the only one that gained weight, like a chubby drunk. I am on the first week of SEC football.
Is this a weight gain competition, Will, or a weight loss?
Well, I only gained a half a pound, so that's pretty good. You guys all lost pretty good, and I only gained a half. So
if you weren't a chubby drunk, we wouldn't be having the competition, Will. So it's okay. It's okay to have a gainer week. You just don't want to have two.
That's true. I got to implement. I'm only going to drink a 6-pack during LSU Tigers game during a weight loss contest. Outside of weight loss contest, that rule is off.
Safe.
Sure.
Sure.
Who do they play? Who do they play next week?
I've been just sort of burying my head in the sand, just focusing on the debates. I haven't even looked at the schedule.
I hope it's UL Monroe for Will's waistline.
No, it's probably an SEC team. I'm assuming. But yeah. So that's anyways.
It's
the
all
race,
SEC teams.
The race is now Mark in the lead, Wes close behind, Will Pat and Large battling for not last. So still 8 weeks to go though. All for charity. Remember, donate. Everybody is losing weight for a good charitable cause. So yeah, 8 more weeks to go though. Mark's screen, youtube.com/hardfactornews. Check out what's going on.
I think Mark's wife is using the microwave.
He is about to give us all seizures in the Zoom chat.
What is going on with this thing? Hang on. Hang on. I'm unplugging and replugging.
Will, it looks like you're good until October 17th. You got Vanderbilt, then Missouri, and then Florida on the 17th. So
Vandy should be a bounce back, hopefully.
Yeah.
You never know.
You are not drinking 6 beers only on the Florida game. We all know that.
Look,
we've all been around for that.
No, that's my promise to myself and to you in the Hardo Hive who are betting on me to lose weight.
Just a quick 6
for charity. Yeah.
Why don't you just get rid of the axe and you'll be fine?
No. The axe is, if anything, the axe really helped me stay
winter's
just
coming,
a half pound. If I hadn't worked out while I was hammered, I mean, imagine.
Will's going to end up like the guy in my story. Wait till you hear this.
Yeah, there we go. All
right,
do you guys want to get into them?
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right. Well, surprise, surprise, guys. There are some issues popping up from the severe increase in mail-in voting. What did I tell you? What did I tell you guys?
Yeah, you've been strong on it.
And before anyone on either side of the aisle starts screaming into their device, that's not fair of you to say, or damn right it's voter fraud, I want to reiterate that I've been taking a bipartisan logical approach to this since day one and saying that when you add a layer of integration, things become more difficult. And I know mail-in voting and absentee ballots existed before, but nowhere near at this scale. You're talking about tens of millions of people doing it for the first time, workers doing it for the first time, and all sorts of new envelopes and processes state by state. This is basically a new thing. So everyone just shut up. It's not going to go
known fact
well.
about the hard factor hosts. Professionally, Mark is definitely the integration expert of all of us.
I am. I'm literally an integration expert. I've been hired by several large companies to deal with integration software.
I think I know. I've kind of gauged what I never knew what Mark meant, but I think what it means is Mark's job is to tell them that their estimate is going to be longer than they initially thought it was. That's a
for
lot of
sure.
it, right?
For sure. Like, and we'll get into. I mean, did you not hear what Andrew Yang had to say?
A lot of it's
we're not
like,
going to know.
Nah, yeah, I don't see
We're
that
not going to know
happening.
on November 3rd. Well, you got to test things out, which we didn't really have time to test this, did we? It's going live, and we're live now with it, actually.
Production.
But like Andrew Yang said, no chance we know on November 3rd. I agree with him. I have for a while now. Anyways, how about I just show you why I'm patting myself on the back? And this brings me no great joy, as I wish there were no problems whatsoever with the 100 million plus or whatever people mail-in voting. Just like I wish my shit smelt like lavender and the tree in my backyard was a money tree. It would be nice. But
not
let's deal with reality, people.
Okay, you've bragged enough.
Yeah,
You were
all right,
logical.
let's go.
You knew
Let's
it
go.
was coming.
Yeah, just like COVID. Do you guys want to start paying attention to me?
Look, you have been calling them. If you
I'm
could
Mr.
bet-
2020.
One
if you
wish
could bet
at a time,
futures
Mark.
on the globe, Mark would be
Yeah,
real
just-
rich this year.
Just listen to me.
Making two wishes.
All right, but here we go. In Virginia.
Well, those are two pretty good bets.
I mean, neither. No, you guys had
January
it.
coronavirus bet, and then
I'll give you Corona. The
when did
news
you-
kind of picked the.
When did you start bitching about the mail-in ballots? Though?
You'd have to rewind the tapes, but the first time I heard about it,
Yeah,
I
it was
this
early.
isn't going to go well. In Virginia, let's get into it. In Virginia, there's five things I'm going to go through. In Virginia, the GOP is filing motions asking a judge to order the Department of Elections to make it more clear on their website and other places like social media that a witness signature is not required to count on an absentee ballot. So, like, up until this election, this changed in April. The ACLU stepped in and they said for the primaries and now for this presidential election, we don't need a witness because people are worried about coronavirus and dealing with other humans and they're nervous. So they're trying to waive the right for signatures. In the past, that would invalidate a mail-in ballot. But
Is that like a notary witness or just like a witness? Just like, hey, this.
I don't
No,
know,
you
'cause I don't-
you sign it yourself. You haven't done a mail-in ballot before. You sign it
one
yourself.
time-
They match it to your.
I haven't done one
Oh,
before.
I thought like one time a buddy's dad.
No, it's
came
a
up to
different
me
human witness. Well, it's
and
not
was
you.
like,
It's a human witness.
Hey, my mother died.
It's a notary.
Well, you
kind of.
sign
It's
this?
notary. It's like a wedding when the priest the pastor has to sign it,
Yeah, I've
right?
been a
It's
witness
different human.
before.
You're a witness to like a wedding, like that.
No,
thing.
you don't need a witness.
It's
to
it's
sign your
different. It's
mail-in
different state by state. Will you do in Virginia? So
Wow,
so
that's crazy.
so you do, but you don't. And the GOP is saying make it clear that you don't. And the ACLU, who came out and they were the ones that got it to change in April, agrees with the GOP and says yes, this is very unclear and needs to be addressed. So that's issue number one. People are confused in Virginia whether they need a witness. We're
Well, that
confused
sounds like
whether it
the
needs to be another
dumbest thing
person.
ever. Why would you request a mail-in ballot if you needed a second signature on it?
I don't know, because they don't want to do harvest. We're going to get into it because people with the harvesting and the voting and stuff. What are you talking about? Okay, Will's not impressed. I'm just getting warmed up though. In Texas,
No, I'm saying Virginia is clearly bad at the mail-in process. I'm
Right.
saying
Well,
their
each
rules
state-
make no sense.
This is a problem, Will. Each state has different rules. In Texas, new affidavits filed in the Texas Supreme Court allege a
Nailed it.
massive illegal mail ballot harvesting scheme is underway in Texas's most populous county, Harris County in Houston, and that the scheme is being puppet mastered by elite Democratic officials. So that sounds kind of crazy, but there's
Elon Omar, right?
right. Well,
it's
no,
a
that's
similar
Minnesota.
thing.
That's Minnesota.
That's Minnesota, but this is
Right.
Houston. It's
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
It's going on everywhere, according to
Yep.
everyone. You know?
Yep.
Harvest
Smooching with everybody.
There's two current private investigators in the Houston area, one a former investigative specialist with the FBI and one a former Houston police chief, alleged that witnesses have told them, so this is secondhand, but the witnesses had firsthand experience of a large scheme hatched by Democratic officials such as state senators and Congress and county commissioners, where the Democrats are sending people with ballots into nursing homes and to the homeless and some people's mailboxes and stealing the ballots, and they're filling them out themselves and forging the signatures, and everyone's in on it, including the clerks at the ballot office who are letting them slide right through. And they're
wow.
even doing it for some dead people, according to these
Well,
two
you would
affidavits.
if you were taking
So-
them from mailboxes, right?
Who's the
So what do you
source
think about
on
that,
that?
guy? Does that one impress you? I already told you. It's an ex-FBI guy and an ex-Houston police chief, and they're witnesses.
These are
So-
allegations. B.
Yeah, they're
Doesn't sound
nothing
good.
yet. Be fine, nothing yet. All right.
But
Doesn't sound good.
that's an investigation. I mean, basically, what's happening is each of these allegations from people then get taken to court in each of these states, and it's going to further.
We don't have time for
fucking-
that.
The process
That's right.
is going to be even
No, we don't.
crazier.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
I mean, every state where the difference is, minimal is going to go through a very long process.
Yeah,
Litigious,
think
to say
Iowa
the
Democratic
least.
primary.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we all hope that last one's not true, but the fact that it's even being discussed is, is concerning. In time, it's going to be a pain in the ass. Let's try this one on for size. If those two didn't tickle you, Tulsi Gabbard had this to say on the internet. Project Veritas offers further evidence of the need to ban ballot harvesting. It's not a partisan issue. It's been abused to help both Republicans and Democratic candidates, including in North Carolina and California. Please help by telling your congressional rep to pass our bipartisan bill, H.R. 8285. I don't know what that bill is. I listened to her video. I was mainly watching her. I forgot what she said. She said something. Yeah, she was looking real good. Something about she doesn't like third parties being the ones handing out the ballots and then collecting them. And I don't know how you prevent this human fraud from happening, but she thinks that her bill can. Anyways, the Project Veritas thing is the one referring to Ilhan Omar, where there's a video where someone's, caught on
Jamal
camera
or whatever,
bribing someone for their ballot, and they're claiming it's from Ilhan Omar, which, who
The
knows
video's
if that's
funny.
fucking
The
true.
guy bragging about all the ballots in his car.
Right.
Yeah.
Project Veritas, a little bit biased.
Why would a
but it is being-
congressperson do that?
Right, exactly. But it's being
Anybody who
it's being looked
ballot
into.
harvesting is a thing. I mean,
For sure.
So
Just ask Tulsi Gabbard.
right. So basically it's like people are being accused of this practice. And
Right.
whether it's true or not, it is going to be lodged in court if they have any evidence. And then like Wes was saying, it just gums up this whole thing. This whole thing is going to be fucked up.
Gums it up. Minneapolis police is investigating the issue. I doubt Ilhan Omar was dumb enough to pay this idiot that was caught on camera, but we'll see. But I would say to Tulsi Gabbard, good luck with your bill. And, if you ever want to come on the show and talk about it or just spend some time with us, we're okay with that.
Tulsi, you got robbed. You got robbed. And people
right.
forget how you definitely handled Kamala
Come hang out
on
with
the
the
debate
boys.
stage.
Come
So
check out
hang
the
with
Austin,
Hard Factor. Tell us about
Austin office.
They pretty much were
next.
like, we don't like this
Come to the
woman at
office.
all. And then they just booted her. She got such a raw deal.
Yeah. Yeah, her and Bernie got the boot. Okay, how about this? If you don't like those three, the Washington Post and CNN, ever heard of them? Did an article yesterday about over 100,000 New Yorkers in the Brooklyn area receiving mail-in ballots with the wrong return address and therefore wrong name on them, which would invalidate their ballots. 100,000 people in Brooklyn.
I'm fucking confused.
Whoa, now that's fucked up.
So
That came out yesterday.
the big misinformation was that everyone's just getting ballots, right? Which is supposed to not
that's
be
just
happening.
fucking. No, that's just a fuck
Are you
up by the
starting
government.
to see the picture? It's
Yeah.
because the workers that have never done this before at this scale are fucking up and they missed the
That's just a
spreadsheet
fuck
by
up,
one name.
yeah.
There's human error in this extra layer of integration. It's not all
Yeah.
fraud, people. It's a
Yeah.
problem. Next
Remember
up,
that-
last
mostly
one.
fuck ups, right?
Remember
most
the
of course
Iowa
it's mostly
the
fuck-
Iowa caucus was exactly like just
Exactly.
a lot of
exactly.
human error.
It's not like all geniuses that are have no risk or error rate are the ones filling these things out and counting them. It's humans. Next up, in Pennsylvania, local female officials started a viral campaign where they're stripping down naked and covering their no-nos with the secrecy envelope that Pennsylvania uses. I don't know if every state uses it, but in Pennsylvania,
Yeah,
if
you don't. I mean, you usually have like a second envelope that you put
Yes.
you sign it, then put your shit inside, and then
there's
you
three
put it-
envelopes in Pennsylvania, and if you don't put your ballot in the one envelope in particular,
Yeah.
your vote doesn't count.
It's like when you're
So
trying to
people are
not
only
get
putting-
vote herpes.
Yeah. So
Double
Do they
bag.
have a
so-
different? Do they have a different envelope for everyone? Because you're gonna be able to find what those envelopes look like eventually. I mean, hey,
I know
this is the
it's a
secrecy
mess,
envelope.
Wes.
It's fucking
a
stupid.
mess. It's a
Well,
mess.
they have like a
It's
barcode
mess, guys.
system most states, but
Guys, it's a mess. Okay. That's the deal. I don't
They
have
should
time to go
disguise
through all
them
the
as
concerns
like
and
AAA
issues.
correspondence. People would leave them alone then if it was from AAA.
Yeah.
So those guys will
This is
not
just some of
stop
the-
sending me mail.
These are just some of the issues. We don't have all day, so we'll move on.
damn.
But I have a feeling that we might have to vote like 15 times before this is all said and done. It's gonna be like scrub them all. Let's get back out to the polls next Tuesday.
I mean, it just
might
looms
be.
large. We'll see what happens after November 3rd. I mean, we'll be live streaming. We might just live stream for a week, like we said. We might just be indefinitely. On
I
live
would commit to that now.
Get your death coffee or whatever.
That will
whatever
keep the stream going. I can't promise that will be.
Yeah.
I will commit to keeping the stream going.
We'll
until-
have the rooms open. We might not be in the chairs the whole time, but I can promise.
I can do 18 hours a day until it's done.
I know you can. I know you can.
All right.
I love that.
No
Might have
food.
to.
No, I won't eat.
Yeah, and we won't eat.
Man, this is going to just ammo up, y'all.
Well, actually,
You
we'll
heard
be the
me.
last 4 weeks of the Fatathon, so we shouldn't eat anyways.
Right.
That's right.
It's just the perfect excuse for me to
Be
just give
eating
up.
caffeine pills.
I'm in. All right, guys, we got a sniffer double for you, one for each nostril. This first one's from Hardo Hive member Andrew Parker from across the pond, MOT, Andrew. Guys, handily beating the United States in areas like math, science, healthcare, and general happiness, Scandinavia can add another feather to their Fjallraven caps.
Scandinavia, as in like the whole area?
Yeah, no, they're just better than us. All those weird ass countries.
The entirety of all those
Finland,
nations?
Norway, all of them. Sweden, Switzerland.
How many gold
all of
medals
them.
they got?
Bro, not a lot. Not there.
Outside
That's-
of skiing.
Well, that's what I'm
Outside
saying.
of
That they don't excel there, and we're
Hammer throw, dude. Hammer throw.
we're light years ahead of them
Big
in not
dudes.
backing down from a fight, and also having climates appropriate for shorts. So take that, Scandinavia.
They're large.
those are-
They're large people.
No,
are
they
good
are.
things.
But
I
anyway,
don't
guys,
trust anyone that eats that much pickled fish. You know what I mean?
Oh, what? Luskafix.
Whatever
What-
it is.
I'm sure that there's some Viking people who are listening who could tell us what that is. But
No,
yeah,
I'm sure it's delicious.
I learned
Well,
something
no,
about Wes
it's
every
like
day.
it's like fish jello. It's like
Yeah.
a jello made of fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that Scandinavian cuisine they're always raving about on those travel shows.
you know. Anyway, they're better at all these things than us, and their dogs are more advanced too. Guys, people arriving at the Helsinki airport in Finland are being offered a voluntary COVID test that only takes 10 seconds, and all you have to do is let a Scandinavian dog sniff your genitals really good. That's right. The Finns train their dogs to be able to smell COVID. And researchers in Finland are saying that using dogs in lieu of nasal tests could prove cheaper, faster, and more effective. The only problem is the dogs keep dying from coronavirus.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
No,
No,
I thought they
that was
couldn't
a
catch
joke.
it. This is impressive.
It is, right, bro? I know.
Also hard to believe.
No, it's 100.
What's the error rate on these dogs? Do they have that stat yet?
I feel like you got to give a dog quite a bit of slack if it's sniffing.
Well, if it's replacing
Wait a minute.
tests.
Not
Are
the
they-
bomb dogs, but the rest
Did they
of
at
them.
least spend a couple months like then giving them a test to make sure the dog was right, or they just go for it out of the gates like that? Like just take the dog's word for it.
You know what this is? This is just a PR stunt. These dogs, they can't really smell it.
Okay, well,
Because think about this. They could just tell you that the dog smells it, and you'd have to believe it.
What's the PR stunt?
I
Don't
assume
come
you
to
could back it
Scandinavia?
up with an actual test.
Well, let's see. Where's it at?
Okay, guys, chill, Will. Will, chill.
Will's coughing it up. We got the debates coming up.
Guys, dogs can detect illnesses with just their noses, such as cancer and malaria, but they also lack the ability to talk, which must be a seriously depressing life. Like just walking around knowing who's got cancer and who doesn't, and you can't tell them. But no, seriously, this has been a thing where dogs can smell illnesses for a long time, and now.
So accurately.
No, seriously,
Obviously.
very accurately.
Apparently.
But they're developing robotic.
To the
smell
point where you don't need modern medicine.
How do you
just
smell
need
COVID?
dogs.
I don't know. It has something to do with like the urine, or I don't know, maybe just stink if you have COVID. But dude, for real, technologists are developing robot noses that can smell like if you're sick. So you just walk by it and it's like cancer, herpes.
That I believe.
But the dogs
so
can
the
do it now.
robots. The robots are even taking dogs' jobs. is what
Yeah,
you're
I
saying.
know. It's fucked up. It's not cool. We need to get someone
Yeah,
on that.
but I'm still not convinced the dogs can really do
Well,
it.
it's
The
a thing.
robots,
Just take my word for it. On to the other nostril, guys. This
Well,
one's from, okay. We'll
light
read-
on evidence, I'll say.
Okay, well, I really hope you end up in a situation where a dog saves your life because it sniffs, it early detects
Well, I
colon
already
cancer.
have. I've reared dogs from pup to death, multiple dogs, and they've all saved my life.
Tell you what, cats can't
you know
smell
what?
gout.
You know what? With companionship,
Right.
but I don't trust them to smell the COVID on me.
Okay. Well, okay. Moving on. On to the other nostril, guys. This one's from Sam Welch, Heart Ohio member Sam Welch. A Cambodian rat was awarded a gold medal last week for his work in sniffing out unexploded landmines, saving countless lives in Cambodia. It's pretty cool, huh?
Well, this I believe. This
Yeah.
I totally believe.
Yeah.
Rats can smell.
Sorry, I got
landmines.
2-year-old having a fit in here. Sorry.
Wes just got photobombed by his nephew.
My nephew's pissed. He wants his fucking truck. Don't blame him.
Does your nephew want to hear about the rats? The rat's name is Magua. And Magua was given a small blue collar and a mini gold medal by the British veterinary charity, the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals. A slap in the face to the 16.25 million Cambodian people whose average monthly income is right around $190. They're giving rats gold medals? Inappropriate.
I saw this on a Netflix comedy show, travel show, like two British guys. A British comedian takes his dad and he travels around the world. It's called like the Whitehalls or whatever their last name. And they went to their first season was they went to Asia and the second stop was Cambodia. And he went out and they literally are like just like have a dozen rats just combing these areas for landmines at any point.
Yeah.
And they name them, like you said, and they
like
all have
Magua.
like female names. Yeah, Victoria and shit. And but they don't blow up though, because they're not heavy. Even though they're giant fucking rats, they're probably like 6-pound rats. They're not heavy enough, I guess, to set off the landmine.
In some cases, yes, Mark. But apparently, rats use an excellent sense of smell and memory. And Magua had discovered 39 landmines and 28 items of unexploded ordnance, and can search an area the size of a tennis court in just 30 minutes. And that would take a human with a metal detector up to 4 days. And guys,
that's very impressive.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the human also would set the mine off if they stepped in the wrong spot where the rat wouldn't. So
I mean, didn't they used to just send like goats or dogs or something out just to
or like
on the landmines just to explode them?
Well, that's what I thought was
back in the
happening with
day?
the rats. I was like, because they're big rats. I was like, damn, Cambodia's, I mean, kind of
Pretty
fucked
sure
up.
that's a thing
Why,
they
I was
used
like,
to-
why are they naming them if they're just sending them
Yeah.
out to get blown
Also,
up?
Yeah.
speaking of exploding rats, when you talked about 6-pound rats,
Yeah.
all I could think about was Luke Skywalker in the very first Star Wars when he was like, he's going to kill womp rats, right?
Oh, yeah, or
Something like
Princess
that?
Bride, rodents
Princess
of
Yeah.
unusual size. Yeah.
Yep.
Big rats. That's a fun topic.
Well, guys, it takes
Remember
about
that-
9 months to train up rats like Magua, and according to
That's
the
not bad.
organization,
Worth it.
they can live up to 8 years or a matter of hours if they're below average at sniffing out landmines. Hey, guys, you know what makes you want to, I don't know, chill? For me, it's our sponsor, Caliper CBD. And
I was worried you were about to say big rats.
no,
Not
big
as,
rats. That
not as
would
good
be
as
the opposite.
Not as good a segue as Will. Not
No,
quite as
I
good a
know.
segue. as
Well,
Will.
you kind of fucked me up because my whole joke at the end was that the
Oh, yeah. Well,
that
they don't blow
the
up.
rats
Yeah,
can live
sorry.
8 years or a matter of hours if they're below average at sniffing
No,
rats.
they live
or
as
were
long as they
trained-
want because they don't
but
blow up.
But you
Yeah,
kept
sorry.
hammering my punchline, just
Sorry.
destroying it through the whole
Sorry.
story, hacking at it like an axe, like
Yeah.
Will on
Don't
college football
worry,
Saturday.
listeners. The rats cannot set off the landmines,
Okay.
regardless of Pat's jokes.
Let's talk about our sponsor, Caliper CBD. When you need to chill, Caliper is the way to do it, guys. Caliper makes you feel better, and it's really without making any drastic changes to your routine. So it's easy for you lazies out there. I have Caliper CBD in my water before bed. I have a cup of water next to my bed, and I pour a 20 milligram packet right in there, and I sip it down. I just got a Super Nintendo, one of those mini little Super Nintendos. So I just drift off to
Whoa.
I just drift off to Chill Town. We're playing a little Donkey Kong, sipping on my Caliper water. It's delightful. Best part about Caliper, guys, it's powdered. I don't know if you guys have ever done CBD before. A lot of times it comes in that weird-ass tincture. Fuck that. That's hippie shit. Not for us. Tinctures, you don't know what you're getting. It tastes like asshole. Plus, Caliper's powder form, it's clinically proven that you absorb 450% more CBD than if you used one of those dumb tinctures. So, I mean, those are numbers you really can't argue with, if you ask me.
That's rat sniffing good.
I know, bro.
When you see 450%, it's almost unfathomable. I mean,
Yeah.
how could something be 4.5 times more effective and still be called the same thing?
Well,
they shouldn't even
tell
be
you-
able to call themselves CBD.
Tell you
The
what,
tinctures.
it's not is 4.5 times the price, and it's also is 4,500 times better tasting than the tincture. So
Yeah, normally when you see
really hasn't beaten all areas.
450 times something, you get suspicious. You're thinking, is this a multi-level marketing scheme? This is not that. This is the opposite of that. This is chill. This is Caliper CBD. Guys, right now you can get 20% off your first order if you use promo code FACTOR at TryCaliper. That's CALIPER.com/factor. So TryCaliper.com/factor. Use promo code FACTOR. You can try it risk-free for 30 days. So if you don't like it, just send it back. But that won't happen because you're going to love it and you deserve to chill. So why don't you go Caliper, TryCaliper.com/factor, promo code FACTOR, get 20% off your first order.
Nice. All right, guys, this next one comes from our interns. Thank you, Bubba, Cam, and Patricia, especially for all the work you are doing on the for the debate stream. We appreciate you guys. And so, guys, I imagine having a daughter in college is a bit stressful for parents. Will's going to have to face that stress one day. Hopefully, his daughter will be a 5th-degree black belt in jiu-jitsu by then. But even then, it's stressful.
Hopefully so. They say trade school is big in the future. Maybe maybe she just goes.
Yeah, that's what
just
you
go
want.
to a trade school.
They say nunning is big in the future.
If you were afraid of jiu-jitsu guys, you don't even want to know about trade school guys.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what makes it even more stressful is when your daughter's sorority house gets vandalized with satanic messages written in the blood of a psychotic machete-wielding man who was wandering around the campus cutting himself. So that's
tough.
It's like Will after LSU loss.
Pretty much. Yeah, if I got that call, I would actually be able to handle that pretty well. I'd be like, well, he's just give him some time. Just let him, leave him alone. Don't get in his line of sight.
Feed him some stuff.
Give him space. Did this guy have a student ID?
No, I don't think he was part of the camp. I don't think he was a student. Apparently, 25-year-old Patrick Cantor was having a bit of a mental breakdown Sunday night, so he grabbed his machete and his body filled with blood and took to the streets to tag some property the old-fashioned way with his own blood.
Who needs markers and pencils and pens when you got your own body of blood?
Patrick's going to live forever.
Got all these arteries and veins.
Look at these arms.
Why is it always a machete? I feel like
machetes are big in this past couple of years.
You never hear a story about a machete being used for its intended purpose. It's always a machete being misused, like Patrick here.
Yeah. It's always violent.
I mean, that's what the like firearm people say too. Like you don't ever hear about it when it's used correctly.
That's because, Pat, most of these stories we're doing aren't in jungles.
Yeah.
So, the machetes are being misused.
He got out.
They're not in the rainforest. Yeah.
Perfect use of the tool.
With crossbows, too. I had that big bias against crossbows for a while. Turns out it's only because we talk about psychopaths on Hard Factor.
It's for disabled people, too. That's what the crossbows are for.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, don't cover the beautiful story of disabled people being able to fire a bow.
And for which to disable people as well.
Yeah.
Right. That's the only time we cover it. So
misery loves company. You know what I mean?
We get all the bad versions of everything. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so this is another bad machete story. He wrote satanic messages on cars and the sorority house, and according to one student, Grant Miller, quote, it said, "Hail Satan," like written in blood, which is strange. Yes, Grant, that is strange. Not something you see every day. I mean, can you imagine you went to like pick up your daughter for breakfast or something, you pull up, this guy's writing like "Hail Satan" on her sorority house in his own blood?
If this was parent or teacher
weekend,
parent weekend or whatever, like, whew.
Yeah, but like
stopping tuition.
There's at least one thirsty dad that's like, oh, college. Are they writing "Hail Satan" in blood again on the sorority house? That's classic. We used to do that.
Yeah.
Or the one dad that volunteers to stay at the sorority house and keep watch.
Right. I think he would be descended upon by a slew of angry fathers if it was Parents Weekend.
I remember Parents Weekend one year at JMU. I manufactured 200 shirts that said "She calls me daddy too," and sold out. Tough shirt.
Nice.
Tough shirt.
Did that cause any fights?
I don't know, bro. I just got paid.
I would assume there had to have been a dad there that fought somebody in one of those shirts.
Class act, you are.
Yeah. Luckily, police were able to disarm the man and get him the help he needed.
You pay her tuition, but I finger her. Sure,
right.
That was the original idea. It didn't test well.
Yes.
Nobody was hurt
except the man's arms.
Except the man's arm.
The man was hurt pretty severely.
He ran out of steam when he lost like a couple pints of blood.
He passed out.
Just let him go. He's gonna tire out here.
I want to have a cookie. I'm gonna have to come back tomorrow.
Give him a juice box.
That's ridiculous. All right, let's move it on. Last story before we get to some debate reactions. And this one is submitted by listener Zach Rowland. And it's about a jewelry heist in Georgia that actually went off without a hitch. So that's why normally we probably wouldn't cover most jewelry heist stories, but this one went off exactly to plan, which is crazy. You don't ever hear about that. So in Hinesville, Georgia, which is
especially not with machetes.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's no machetes involved with this. This is high-tech shit. Listen. So Hinesville, which is along I-95 in Georgia, which I-95 obviously runs up and down the East Coast, big highway, easy to sort of, go fast on it and get away. Officers responded to a tripped burglary alarm at a K Jewelers early Friday morning, last Friday. The officers didn't think anything was wrong when they got to the K Jewelers and inspected the exterior of the locked store. They looked, peered through the windows and everything. They couldn't see anything wrong. So they called back to the owner and said, hey, you need to get a manager here or something to just check because we can't see anything wrong. Looks all good from our end. All the doors are locked, whatever. No broken windows. So the manager was on vacation, though. So nobody could come check it out. And until 10 a.m. when the employees arrived and they discovered that there was a hole cut in the roof of the building and the safe had been completely cleaned out. I'm sure like a lot of other shit too. But yeah,
that's amazing.
$1 million worth of jewelry.
Oh wow! In one K jeweler. I mean, I know every kiss begins with K, but that seems like a lot of merchandise for them to be having on.
Well, the safe and the display cases.
What did they use to cut the fucking hole in the ceiling?
I don't know.
They did not. The police haven't given out. It was
a
a pretty short article.
Blade?
Active case. They definitely know. They probably don't want to be embarrassed by putting out the information yet.
They've never seen a heist movie. This is like The Move. I mean,
yeah, it was the guy pretending to wash the roof for 4 hours.
Yeah. Well, right. You gotta wonder, and also the
Roof's
guys
pretty dirty.
The people who did the job had to be around
They hired
when
me
the
at 2
cops
a.m.
were there.
They hired 2 a.m. window cleaning.
Yeah. Like those dudes had to be on the roof or around the building because they had set off the motion sensor alarm.
Yeah.
And the cops came to check.
Unless they were wearing their new camouflage suits that no one could see them in.
Yeah. Anyhow, not great for the Hinesville PD that they didn't figure that one out when they went on the check.
Check the roof. Nah.
Yeah. It's a bit drafty in here.
But they are accepting tips though. So if anybody in Hinesville knows the people that are definitely long gone down Interstate 95, which is why I brought that up at the beginning, let them know.
Dude, who the fuck knew that a K Jewelers, just because like they're on every goddamn street corner and there's like 4 of them in each mall, has $1 million of merchandise on
Well, these dudes they're obviously, or whoever,
they knew what to grab.
Men or women, they obviously are professionals. They know how to get to the roof. They know how to get into the safe. And then they did all of that.
Dude, diamonds are expensive, Pat.
No, I know. I'm just surprised that, because if these guys are easily just knocking over Ks, they should just keep knocking over Ks. No one gives a shit about a K jeweler.
They will. They're going to knock over whatever the fuck they want. They're cutting holes to the roof and no one's noticing. By the way, we're accepting tips. Go ahead and stick your neck out against the professional criminals that have technology to cut through roofs for insured K jewelers. Go for that. That sounds good.
Yeah, they're not vengeful.
Yeah.
Yeah, your roof in your house is probably easier to just to deal with.
I would pretend like I didn't know anything if I knew anything on this
Every
one.
kiss begins with K.
Well, $1 million in jewelry, and they're still on the loose. But that would be pretty sweet to walk away with that much jewelry and cash. I know what I would do with some of that cash. I'd put at least $20 of it into predictit.org/promo.
Come on with that segue. King of the segue.
Remember, go to predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20, that exact URL. Otherwise, you will not get the free 20 on Barstool, which is what I would do with my winnings of all that jewelry. And then I'd be able to place at least a $40 bet in the stock market of politics for this crazy-ass election that we are about to talk about.
Your days of incredibly successful jewelry robbing would be over. You'd just be gambling on Predicted.
Right, and continuing to grow my stack.
That's
in
right.
The stock market of politics. And so, speaking of that, let's just talk a little bit debate reactions right now. We are done watching the debates, doing the live stream. If you are listening right now and you didn't join for the live stream last night, you missed out. What a hell of a time! You guys have fun watching the debates and participating in whatever fashion you did with the game.
I love debate live stream nights. I missed them from the Democratic primaries. I love them. I had a great time.
Can I just read this?
Can I just read this text from our intern who we invited on the live stream? It says, "Thanks for letting me know to have a question ready, jackasses."
He couldn't come up with a single question for cousin
Shout
Mike.
out Cam. Shout out intern Cam. Shout out intern Bubba. Shout out intern Patricia.
That's amazing.
Cam is smarter than all of us.
Cam was doing the, oh, no, not me.
He's smarter than all of us, and he couldn't. Yeah, okay.
Well, you got it. You know,
I love Cam.
To Cam when he's listening to this later, you got to be put on the spot sometimes. That's just how it goes in the radio biz. You know,
Cam, you're a lawyer. Think on your feet, bud.
I texted Cam. I said, "Do you want to join the stream?" And he goes, "Like on video?" Yeah, buddy.
Oh man,
yeah!
Shout out Cam, shout out Bubba who ran the stream. It went smooth. StreamYard's our new jam. We're gonna do more streams now because of it.
Hit some home run tweets as well.
Patricia was smashing the tweets and watching very astutely and giving us we forgot to talk about this in the stream. Their ties. Patricia brought up their ties. Both men wore striped ties, and Biden's was aggressively striped. When she mentioned that to me,
was like candy cane striped.
When she mentioned that to me, I looked at both men's ties at the same time, and I almost passed out. I was like, I almost got hypnotized. It was like I had a seizure looking at both of their ties.
Yeah, it was like you were at a barber shop.
Yeah, exactly.
It was intense. But I do want to say one thing before we get into the debate about the stream. The Hive, you guys are the fucking best, man. The Hardo Hive is the best. You guys were buzzing hard last night, and it was really nice.
Dominating all social media platforms, the Hardo Hive, just out in numbers. Just crushing everybody.
Yeah, you make us want to do more of these streams because it was, great comments, great viewership and stuff like that. So yeah, please continue to do so.
Anyway, back to the ties. Definitely some kids had epileptic seizures.
For sure.
I don't know what kids are watching the debates, but if there were epileptic kids watching the debates, they were probably in trouble.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to vote when you're dead.
On top of the stripes, then there was the triple triangle pocket square that El Prez tweeted about on Biden. That was a fancy pocket square. I mean,
looked like one of those paper mache crowns you make in kindergarten.
It was like origami. Yeah.
But guys, the big thing, the actual issues of the debate. A lot of people are saying right now that the presidential debate in general has lost its purpose. This is what I'm seeing on Twitter right now after the debate. I use the
lots
term,
of "we are all losers" tweets.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it felt a little soft serve. I mean, we thought that things were going to get heated, and they did. I mean, like Biden called Trump a clown. He told him to shut up. Trump went after Hunter Biden. It was very contentious in theory.
Yeah. So why are you saying soft serve?
So I'm trying to figure that out.
It's interesting that you say that your Twitter feed is full of all of those, while I see a lot of hell yeah. Because Trump's side is more fired up.
Right.
I think you may follow mostly people on the left. The other side of social media is.
Yeah, you mentioned it on the stream. I disagree with you. I don't think Trump won the debate. I'm not saying Biden won the debate. I think Trump won the first half of the debate and Biden won the second half of the debate. And that I think that mainly the Democrats are breathing a sigh of relief, like Cam mentioned, because
they're relieved that Biden made it through standing on his feet.
But in terms of moving the needle, Trump did not move the needle last night.
I don't think he won over Biden supporters, but I do think that he jazzed up his own supporters quite a bit.
Yeah.
But they're already voting for him.
If you can spot, like, there was so much of, no, that's not true. No, that's not true. If you're able to keep up with that shit and actually know the fucking truth, then kudos to you, because I don't know what's true anymore when it comes to these guys going back and forth with each other.
Some of the things were just so egregious.
There was a lot that was obvious.
1 in 500
some of the stuff's
African Americans are going to die.
Christ.
That was a Biden claim. That wasn't necessarily. What was that all about?
Somebody's arguing me saying that that's not what he said. That's what I heard. So,
okay.
I also heard him say that, basically make the claim that hurricanes weren't a thing before climate change. And that's ridiculous.
Someone said that was in Iowa. He mentioned maybe it wasn't.
Hurricanes
weren't a thing in Iowa. Look, I liked some of the shout outs were or call outs were when Trump went nuts early on and said, you barely won. And he goes, if it wasn't for Pocahontas dropping out 2 days before, you might not have. And then he goes, don't use the word smart around me. Did you just use the word smart around me? You graduated from Delaware State and couldn't remember what college you went to. Yeah. You graduated last in your class. Don't ever use smart around me.
Yeah.
You're the stupidest person.
He tried to break him early.
Yeah. Yeah, that was intense.
Almost did, but Biden withstood the storm, which was pretty impressive.
Almost did.
He did. That's why I think he won the
the.
second half, because when Trump continued to needle, he started to look really bad in the second half.
I agree. Trump looked a little childish for sure.
He looked like a dick in the second half.
Well, that's his approach.
Yeah, I know.
But it was off-putting. It was funny in the first half, and I was like, "Ooh, this is
right." He stopped getting as many.
He jumped the shark.
It did get off-putting for sure.
Yeah, it was off-putting.
I mean, but to that point, I feel like we all realize that Trump says fucked up shit that hurts a lot of people's feelings, right? And Biden brought that up, but it's like it's not like that's going to hurt him. He's pretty unapologetic about that. And then they went down these paths of like, my plan would create more jobs than your plan, and you handed me this economy.
Well, that was just right versus left. I mean, that stuff
is so boring. It's such trash. It's like,
well, it's just the same shit you've always heard. It's do you want high taxes or low taxes? Do you want green energy or fossil fuels? Do you want masks or no mask mandates? Do you want more shutdowns or less shutdowns? That was all this the standard boilerplate shit.
Right.
Party versus party.
But I think the only gotchas. I agree. There were everything we covered. There were some mistakes on both sides. There needs to be some fact checking on both sides. But mainly boilerplate. But there were a couple gotcha moments where Chris Wallace got him. Like Chris Wallace got Biden on packing the court. Yeah, and he got Biden on like the Green New Deal, not supporting it, like on the climate change, and he got Trump on racial stuff.
White supremacy. Yeah,
will you denounce
Proud
Boys?
He also got Trump on the climate change. He wouldn't let Trump slink out of climate.
He kind of got both of them.
Which
he did a good job. Chris Wallace did a good job.
Chris Wallace is the winner of this debate. But my biggest thing is like when Trump started going into dirty forests being the reason for forest fires, like I'm like, he must have lost the Gen Zers there. Like that is just so fucking ridiculous.
Dirty forest.
Why?
Man.
I don't. Is it
because
Gen Zers believe that wildfires are 100%
I think
climate change?
I think climate change is a big issue for them. I guess that's what I'm saying, and I feel like that's his way of denying. Essentially, like for whatever interest he has, he doesn't want to say that climate change is happening because of fossil fuels. So
I think that the good point that is brought up in that argument with the forest floors is that Yang brought up, which is Trump controls the national forests. So if he wants to rake the floors in the national forests, at least do those. Whereas Newsom can do what he wants with the state forests. I mean, that's
true.
That's a solid point. If you control the majority of the land that's burning, you can rake the floors if you want.
What were some other highlights? There were some other like major moments that I thought were funny. Like,
I thought that the Billion Trees program was
that's a lot of trees.
What is the Billion Trees
program?
Program?
Thing I've ever heard. Like you're just telling me I'm going to plant 1 billion trees. Just Trump goes, we're planting 1 billion trees, 1 billion, and then it's just
like that's pretty cool or something like that.
Yeah,
that's
I agree. Like it was just
talk about creating jobs. You're gonna need a lot of people out there,
right?
Planting trees.
I'm just like that's 1 billion trees.
That's a lot of trees.
I'm looking on Twitter. There's who knows if this is true or not, but like the first tweet I see is billion tree project does not exist.
Yeah. No, that's a tough one to get
Trump
off the ground.
Saying we're planting 1 billion trees. That's a lie. What is he talking about with 1 billion trees?
Trump said, I'm the one who brought back football. Trump said, no one cares about you, Joe. Otherwise, you would have people at your events. You only have 3 people. No one cares about you. Yeah,
how about both of those two? Do you find those to be accurate?
I mean, it's just such a basic.
Football's
appeal.
back. If that, football is back. So I don't know.
And would anybody go to a Joe Biden? I don't think they would.
Well, I think because they're so against the Trump
COVID.
rallies. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I don't think they would. So I think, the football, I have less of an easy time giving him that one. But the Joe Biden rallies one is a solid point. Nobody would go.
A burn.
Except for he lied. The Trump lied there.
Nobody would go. You got to admit nobody would go. You got to admit nobody would go.
Trump said somewhat to
admit nobody would go.
He said
not during
I'm not going to admit it. He said
admit nobody would go.
He said we have them outside.
Nobody would go to a Biden rally,
which is not true. And then he goes. He said if you had big crowds, you do it too. But
you only have 3 people that show up.
The football thing was like the equivalent of the Simpsons joke. Like, do you want to know the horrible truth or do you want to see dingers? Which is like, I brought football back though, didn't I? Everyone
that was like mid-high football rules, whatever they say in Billy Madison.
So, B, would you go to a Biden rally? Yeah. On the record.
I'm not going to anyone's fucking rally.
You had a great time at the Trump rally.
Yeah, with you, we went.
I know.
We led prayer. It was great.
You got to wear you need to wear a MAGA hat to the Biden rally to pay up your weight loss for last time we did the weight loss.
I'm not going to any fucking group gathering during COVID.
Biden fired back with some good ones
You'll
too.
just take 10 planes.
Biden said you're the worst president the United States ever had. He also hit him with the he wouldn't know a suburb unless he took a wrong turn, which is a pretty good burn.
Which Trump said, "Oh, I know suburbs."
Yeah, no.
Wouldn't you just shut up was the biggest one.
Yeah, wouldn't you just shut up? But that wasn't. I don't think that was a good move on Biden's part. The ones I just mentioned, I thought were good. The one
that was the court backing. He crumbled when
he lost his cool there. I thought he was going to lose it for the rest of the debate, but he did rebound.
But that
nicely.
was a good burn. Wouldn't you just shut up because Trump was just talking nonstop? But
well, then Chris Wallace handled the next. Wouldn't you just shut up? It's like all 10 of them. Chris Wallace is like, shut up. Just shut up.
I did
Mr.
find
President.
that weird how Biden was like
Please stop,
staring
Mr.
at Chris
President.
Wallace. Like he wouldn't for a while until Biden started doing better in the second half. He refused to make eye contact with Trump. And then he started doing better and he got a little bit more comfortable and he stopped only eye locking with Chris Wallace and started to look around the room a little bit.
Chris Wallace was hugely into the 2 minutes of no interruption. We know from doing debates.
Wallace a hose. That's really what they need, or a bucket.
Spray him down.
He needed something because Wallace
muting the mics.
I'm telling you, the muting the mics is the idea.
What about Nickelodeon gack? He like gacks him, like he like drops the slime on. Yeah, he slimes them if they go over.
Can't do that on television.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're coming up on the end of our debate recap.
No, we got 2 minutes.
We got a couple minutes. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, don't do that to us.
I think maybe 10 people in all of America switched sides during that debate.
No one switched sides.
No.
Yeah, maybe.
I like when Trump said I ended racial sensitivity training because it's racist, which to me, I just laughed out loud when that happened. I was like, okay, Proud Boys stand back and stand by. Stand by for what?
That was
that one didn't make any sense. I mean,
no.
Yeah, stand by for fucking, I don't know.
Stand by.
Streets, who knows? But the big thing, guys, I think the biggest takeaway, in my opinion, was the fact that Wallace was like, we're not going to have a result for this election that we're currently debating. Like, it's just not going to happen in November 3rd. I think that's the biggest takeaway. What are your guys' thoughts?
What do you mean? Wallace came out and said that
For November 3rd.
well,
I think he just kind of hammered it home. You know, he was essentially saying like there's currently regulations for
when he asked them, would you peacefully transition or whatever?
I think
that's what he was getting at, but it was kind of like, to me, it was like a hammer laid down that like both candidates,
the answer
like,
told you all you need to know. Right. The answer told you all you need to know. Trump was refusing to say that he's not going to use his time while he's still the incumbent to do what he can to get the outcome he wants, while Biden was like, of course, all the votes should be counted to the very end. And I don't think that anybody should declare victory until it's fully verified. And so, like, they have different stances on it because he's the incumbent and the other guy's a challenger.
Yeah, and I mean, they have till January, right? Like the inauguration sometime in January.
Yeah.
Whether it's January Trump again.
19th.
Yeah, whether it's
That's
Trump
not
again
enough
or
time.
whether it's no, but I mean, like
December 8th is the drop dead.
would you, if you were Trump and there were questions,
No.
would you just give it up in November? I think
No.
you'd probably let it
No,
ride
you want to
out
wait it.
for a
You
while.
want to
Yeah.
ride it out for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but technically you have as much right to the office as Biden does until the results come out.
That's
have
what,
more,
well, that's
you're
what I'm
the
saying.
incumbent.
Yeah, you have more.
You don't have more.
Well,
Yes, you do. You're the incumbent.
you have to
It's
still do your
current
job.
term.
It's a lame duck period, but you still have to do your job.
Right. So the issue is he will
Right,
be
now
in
we're
the
out of
office.
time.
He will be
Yeah,
in
now
the
we're out of
office. Right. Yeah.
Man, on
It is
Twitter,
going to be a mess for sure. Like Mark has been predicting.
the Proud Boys are turning up on Twitter right now.
Oh, come on. All right, we got to end it. Just
Let's
turn
wrap
it down.
it up.
Turn down, Proud Boys.
Let's
Turn it
wrap it up.
down.
Turn
that
down,
down.
Proud
Turn
Boys.
down for what?
We
All
are
right, we'll talk.
standing by,
guys.
sir.
Talk to you tomorrow.
And on that note, what an electric debate. We'll do another live stream for every single one, and we'll give you coverage on the radio and on the pod. And have
The dozen's up next.
And that's going to do it for Hard Factor today. We'll be back again tomorrow with a hard-hitting news show. Looks like the FBI may have declassified some interesting stuff. Don't forget to spread the word if you love the show. But most importantly, have a great fucking day.